I think we can start by now. So, to introduce, a very warm welcome and a heart welcome to each and every one of you present for this prestigious intellectual property rights IPR course led by Riddhi ma'am. And it is a very great pleasure and excitement that we gather here today to embark on a journey of discovery and learning in the realm of intellectual property. So, in this rapidly evolving world, we know that where there's so much innovation and where there's so much creativity, there are at the forefront of progress. We understand the intricacies of intellectual property rights has become more crucial than ever before. So, as we commence this IPR course under the guidance of Ridhima, let us approach it with an open mind, a thirst of knowledge, and an eagerness to explore the dynamic world of intellectual property. And together, let's embark on this journey of learning, growth, and enlightenment. And once again, a heartfelt welcome to each one of you, and let's make the most out of this wonderful learning experience. And over to you, Ridhima.
Thank you, Shweta. Give me a second, please.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, so good evening to all. I hope you are doing
Good
well.
evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening. So I think most of the students have joined, so we'll continue the class now. 1 second. Yeah, so has any one of you watched the previous recording, Sunday's recording, to understand how to identify the class, how to make a public search, and what are the features of form TMA? So has any one of you gone through it?
No, ma'am, I haven't. Actually, I was stuck somewhere. So I'll watch tomorrow.
Okay, ma'am. So the purpose of asking was that we cannot proceed like without understanding the basic class search and public search. So I gave you a homework. Can we discuss that before proceeding? I'll just open the WhatsApp group. So I hope some of you who attended the previous class has done the homework that I gave you. So can we start? You can just switch on your 1 second. Sorry for the interruption. So yeah. So I'll take the names one by one, the product name, and any one of you can switch on your unmute your mic and let me know the answer, the class or the class number of the particular product. So handbags. Anyone? Anyone who was there in the previous class can answer. Has any one of you done the homework? I can see some new names.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I have my exam going on, so I can't go through the homework this time.
Okay, no problem, Isha. So anyone else was there in the previous class? apart from Isha? So did you understand how, sorry, someone speaking?
I'm sorry, my name is Priya. I was not able to attend the previous session. So basically, you want to identify what is the class numbers of each product as per the trademark. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So did you understand how to make, how to identify the class of the product? So basically, there is Schedule 4 of Trademark Rule 2017, which has there is classification of goods and services from 1 to 45 present in fourth schedule. So has any one of you gone through it, or has any one of you searched or identified the product that I gave you in the homework? If anyone has done it, if even if you have done some of it, you can answer. Nobody has attempted it, then we can proceed further, or I'll again explain how to make a search, because it's important to identify the class before proceeding in the trademark application process. So maybe without wasting time, I'll quickly show you how to make the search. 1 second. Share the screen. So is my screen visible to you all?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. So you just go to the Google, right? IP India Service website. Follow the first link, official website of Intellectual Property India. Because my Wi-Fi is slow. Yeah. So this is the official website. You go to the trademark section, hover upon it, go to related links, then go to classification of goods and services. Click on it, proceed further, click on yes. It will take you to this page where you can enter the search term, click on search button, and it will provide you the classes under which the particular good falls. So before that, you need to select WIPO checkbox and India checkbox. That's here. India is, sorry, this is the one checkbox and WIPO checkbox. We'll take the examples that I gave you. So maybe you'll take footwear.
What is that WIPO
Right.
checkbox there?
Yes, ma'am. I also
Sorry?
want to know.
What
Ma'am,
is
why
a
WIPO?
WIPO?
Yeah, so WIPO, because it will show, because India is a signatory to WIPO convention, and the TM class, we follow the same TM class that is universally applied by WIPO. That's why we are selecting WIPO here. All right. So it should be compatible to the WIPO class, classes given under WIPO and India. So
if we are going to select any other country other than India, we still have to have the WIPO checked. Is that right?
yeah, you can do that, because being a member country, you need to select WIPO so that there could be an accurate result on this website.
Okay.
Right. So enter the search term footwear, and you can see the class that's written here 25 and the term footwear that we searched. So footwear will fall under the class 25. We'll take another example, maybe paints. Click on search. paints fall under class 2 of niche classification. All right. So this is how you search for so there are other, you will find other classes too, like class 3 body paints, but that is not what we are looking for. Because like for example, a client comes to me and he says he deals in paints, not specifically in body paints. So we'll search the class, we'll identify the class where the paint, specifically the paint belongs to, not the body paint. So we are not, because we are searching for a particular term, that's why we'll select a class which is appropriate, which appropriately includes the product. All right. And class 1 to 34 deals in manufacturing of goods, but class 35 to 45 deals in services. So if you are manufacturing paint, it will fall under class 2. But if you are trading or selling paint, then it will fall under class 35. Okay. So that is how you search, identify the class. And then and I'll quickly show you how to do a public search. 1 second. No. This bar, second. Yeah. So for public search, that is how you search the client's mark. If is it registered before, or is it available to get the registration or not? You have, for that you have to make a public search first. Okay. So when a client approaches you with a trademark, trade name, then please make sure that it is not existing in the market before, because it should be unique. I told you in the previous classes of trademark, in the initial classes, that the trademark, the trade name should be very unique, and it should not cause confusion in the eyes of public. So for that, we need to make a public search. So again, you hover upon trademark, go to related links, go to public search. Now, for example, we want to make a search. We want to, let's take an example that we want to register the name into legal word. So that we'll write in the word mark section. I've already made a search into legal word. Then class, we need to identify the class. So can somebody quickly search and tell me what class does into legal word fall for legal services? As into legal world, we know that it's providing legal services. So we'll make a search for the class where the legal services are included. Can somebody tell me which class does legal service belong to?
Ma'am, I think 45.
Yeah, correct. So 45, we'll enter the capture here. 2, 1, 2, 7. Click on search. And it will show you the details of the mark. So as this mark is already registered, therefore the status is showing registered here. We click on show detail. So word mark is into legal word. The application number is this. The class is 45, which includes legal services. Application date is 7/5/2019. The proprietor name is given here. Journal number is given here. Journal date is the one on which the mark has been published in the journal. The status is registered. Use since, user date is 02/05/2017. So this mark is being in use since 2017, but it has been filed in 2019. Okay. So user date can be prior to the date of application or registration. Okay. So, and it is valid up to 2029. The goods and service description is given here. The legal services, security service for physical protection of tangible property and individual, personal and social service rendered by others to meet the needs of individual. This is the full description of class 45. So if any one of this description comes in front of you, it will fall under class 45. Need not, it's not necessary that the client who comes to you should deal in every service that the class is describing. Like there are a lot of things that one class includes. So it is not necessary that the client should mention all of the description in detail. Okay, if he is dealing in just the legal services, it could be mentioned just legal services, and the rest could be omitted. Okay, so yeah, you can take another example. So you give me an example of any of the trade name, any trade name that you want to search. Anything you think we could search right now? Give me an example.
Something like acrylic acid, something like that,
Acrylic,
related to medicines. Acrylic acids.
acrylic is. So is it product name or is it brand name? So because during public search, we search for the brand name and we identify the class of the product and we mention the number. So
Okay.
yeah.
Product wise. You want to search through brand names, right?
Yeah. Suppose a client has approached you and they want their mark to be registered. Now you have to make a public search to identify, to check whether that brand name is already in existence, whether that brand name is unique or not. So for that, you need to make a public search. Now,
Okay.
let's just suppose
Ma'am,
that
Meta.
sorry,
Ma'am, Meta.
Meta, META, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's search. Which product do you want to get your Meta registered for?
Ma'am, it's a application,
Application. So
mobile application.
mobile application, which class does it fall into? You need to identify the class number.
Mobile falls under class 6, right? Related to mobile.
One second. I guess mobile falls, maybe mobile application falls under class 9, but class 6 of, yeah.
Yeah, mobile application falls under class 9.
Yeah.
In general, as mobile, it falls under class 6 or 7.
Yes, if you're
7 is
manufacturing
specific.
mobile phones, then it falls under class 6, I guess. But if
Okay.
you are creating, or if you are like innovating and you're creating a mobile application, it falls under class 9 as far as I know.
Yeah,
And
class
if
9.
you are, and if you are just providing some scientific or networking services through that mobile application, let's just suppose, then it will fall under class 42. Please recheck.
Yes, ma'am.
42 is it?
Ma'am,
to
for
search
service it is
as,
42, and from the
networking.
product it is class 9.
Yeah, correct. So is Priya
But
saying
ma'am,
something?
No,
ma'am, one question.
networking. Okay, I'm sorry.
Ma'am, one question. When we are giving a product name, but actually it is a service. Means Meta is a product application name, but
Hmm.
actually it's a service. So will we consider product or a service? Means
So what
class 9 or
happens
class
is,
42?
suppose I have made the application. Okay. So, and now I want to like open it to the public. I want to also provide services through that mobile application, and I want to own that mobile application also. So I need to file two applications, one under class 9 and one under class 42. Okay. Then I'll be the owner of the application as well as the service provider through that application. So for now, we'll search class 42 because we are taking a hypothetical example. 34141.
6341 63.
Sorry, yeah. क्या हो रहा है? Okay, so there are some word marks. Is my screen visible to you? I'll zoom in a little bit. So
Yes,
these
ma'am.
are the marks that we got. So there is word mark metal 1, meta lab, then there is this and meta links, then this one, meta links again, metadata, meta. So just meta, and it says that the status is abandoned. So because you didn't attend the previous class, I told you, I explained you different statuses. Why do these status come as abandoned or refused or withdrawn or registered? So abandoned comes when the application hasn't been renewed. So in that case, the mark is abandoned and it is available for registration again. So either the same proprietor or any other proprietor can register this mark if it's not if it's abandoned. Okay, so you need to check thoroughly whether the just the meta name is available for you to register or not. Okay, we'll search again. Meta screen logo, Meta software. So this has been refused. So refuse status comes when there is an objection by the examiner in the trademark registry, and during the hearing, the attorney of the proprietor is not able to prove why the objection should be waived off. So if there is an objection under section 9 or section 11, or if there is some like some document is missing, or there is like any requirement under trademark application is not fulfilled, and the examiner thinks that this application should not proceed, then he or she raises an objection. Then what happens is the mark is set for hearing. Now if during the hearing the controller feels that your mark should not proceed further for advertisement and acceptance, then the status comes as refused. The mark is refused. So if the mark is abandoned or refused, you can you need not consider those marks, and you can proceed with your application. Okay. But if the status is opposed, or it's say registered, or it is rejected, then you need to consider those marks. Okay, if someone says, suppose this application is opposed, so the proprietor's right still exists. He can still defend his application in the opposition matter. Therefore, the opposed application should be considered by you before proceeding your client's application. Okay. So the opposed status comes when after the hearing, if the examiner is satisfied that your marks should proceed for advertisement, it is then advertised, and within 4 months there is a time period of 4 months under which the opposition from the third party is allowed. So suppose you have applied a mark under the name Meta, and I feel that I already have a right upon that trade name. So when your application is advertised in the trademark journal, then I will oppose that mark within 4 months time. I will file TMO opposition. I'll send opposition petition, and I will say that this mark, your mark, should not be registered because it is creating confusion in the eyes of public, and I have the prior right over this mark. Okay, so the status is changed to opposed. Then there is also one status as marked for examination. Marked for examination comes as soon as you file your application and it comes to the trademark registry. Till the time it has not been examined, or there is a time where you can amend your application, or it has not been sent for hearing, the status shows as marked for examination. Okay. So let's see, accepted and advertised. So accepted and advertised, this status comes when the hearing has been done and the examiner is satisfied that there is no objection from the registry. Now the third parties, the mark is available to the public, and the third parties can oppose if they want to. Okay. So withdrawn. So there is another status as withdrawn. Withdrawn comes when the proprietor has himself withdrawn the application. Okay, due to some reason they have already withdrawn their application. Therefore, this status is changed. So I guess I have told you the important statuses. Please remember, and for that you can write it down somewhere, because these are important during the search. If there is a refused application, abandoned application, or withdrawn application, you need not cite those marks. You need not tell your client that these marks exist, because they don't have any right in the application on the mark. But if there is status of opposed or accepted advertised, mark for examination, or any other, or rejected, then their rights still exist and they can defend their mark. Therefore, you need to tell your client that these marks, these similar marks exist in the market, still exist in the market, and you need to suggest your client that they can either change or modify their mark accordingly if they want to.
So
Now,
for withdrawn, opposed, and refused, the clients no need to do any changes or modifications.
No,
right?
no,
So
no.
They can
they
continue
don't.
with that.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So this is how you identify the class and you make a basic public search. Now we'll switch to, one second. Now I'll show you what documents are required to file the application and how do you proceed with the application procedure. Yeah, so you can write it down that when you file an application, let's suppose that a client has approached you with their mark and they want to register the mark under, let's say, class 3 cosmetics. Now, they are using their mark since 2014. Okay. So let's say 4th of April 2014. So how now they want to file their mark in 2023. You have to prove the user date since 2014. For proving that the client is a continuous user of that mark in 2014, you need to provide certain evidences to the registry. So what could be those evidences? That could be any invoice or bill at the time of formation of the company or the time of first transaction. Okay. So any copies of promotional material like flyers or brochures or 1 second, there will be background noise. So I'll mute for a minute. Is there a problem with the background noise, the background sound?
No,
It's
ma'am.
fine.
Okay.
No problem.
So yeah, so there could be any promotional material like flyers or brochures or any advertisement with the date. So date is important. So they need to show that they have been using this mark since 2014 April 4, and for that they need to produce documents for every year, at least for each year, like 2014, 15, 16, 17 till 2023. Okay, so if they skip, that will be considered as discontinuance of the use of the mark. Therefore, it's not necessary that you provide a bill or an invoice or any material for each month, but it is necessary that you provide for at least each year so that the continuance can be proved. Okay. So there could be details of launch of the website or domain name registration certificate or any evidence pertaining to the social media. So these days people also give their evidences of Instagram page or Facebook page. So that is also counted under the evidence. But that is not very if you're claiming user date since very long back, then just providing the advertisement or the social media presence is not enough. So you need to produce such documents which could show the date of the use of the mark. Okay, so the best evidence that you could provide is the invoices of the transactions. Okay, so and with that you can also add up rest of the evidences to make it more strong.
Is there any way where we can download any invoices through any website through the search of that particular trademark?
Sorry, no, I'm
No,
telling you, I didn't get your question.
No, for the invoices, if they are using for 2014 until 2023,
Yeah.
not everyone can have the invoices, right? So in that case, is there an option where we can search in the website to check for that particular information?
No. There's
Like
no,
how we...
there is nothing as such because it depends upon the business to business, right? So if I'm doing a business since 2014, I'll have my invoices, I'll have the documents that I need to produce because it depends upon me now that how I keep my documents. I won't publish my invoices and documents somewhere else. So
No, for example, if we just give the service number or any agreement number of a property, right, in a government website, you will have that agreement copy downloaded from there based on
yeah.
the provided information. So like that, do we have anything like this?
No. Because see, suppose I am a client, I approach you that Advocate Priya, I want to register my trade name as Riddhi. And I have been using this trade name Riddhi since 2014. Now you will ask me, do you have some documents? Do you have some invoices since that you are being a continuous user since 2014? So I will give you those evidences to file. Okay. So it's not like those documents are present online or on some website. I need to produce those documents myself. Okay. So I need to either produce my business, like the registration certificate, then like the products that I have been selling. So I can produce those invoices. So I can produce some newspaper cuttings or some newspaper photographs where I have advertised my mark and the mark is legible there. So those kind of evidences are acceptable in the registry. Okay. So
Okay.
the advocate could not find it somewhere. The client has to produce, but you need to suggest your client that what kinds of document will uh, are stronger and are acceptable. Okay.
Okay, but coming to the next question, like what kind of document will be stronger in this kind of scenario that you have explained?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you, that if you produce the registration certificates and invoices with dates, that will be much stronger and much useful, because if you just, like, suppose someone has Instagram handle and they sell their products through Instagram. So if they don't produce the invoices or the bill numbers or the bill photographs, so what will happen, that just providing a screenshot of your social media presence, like if I open a website now, in like any website like Nykaa, if I suppose I open Nykaa wants to register their trade name, so just the screenshot of the app or the website will not prove that Nykaa is being in existence since long back. Okay, so what do Nykaa has to do? They need to provide bills and Padma Didi, thoda sa धीरे बोलो. So कुछ ऐसे sorry, I need to provide some bills or invoices where I can show that I have been selling those products to my clients since 2014, let's suppose. Okay. So yeah, so the date should be legible on the evidence. If the date is not legible, then the trademark registry won't consider it. That's what practically we do, because there are a lot of people who give a lot of evidences. They give their Aadhaar card, they give their advertisements, newspaper cuttings, then they give their pamphlets and Instagram page screenshots or Facebook page screenshots. So what happens is these documents does not contain any date, so it does not prove that you are a prior user. So just to prove that you are a prior user, you have been using the mark since long back. If you are a proposed user, okay, a proposed user means suppose I have filed my application on August 8, 2023, and being a proposed user, I mentioned that I want to, from now on, I want to use my mark in my trade or in my business. So I need not give any documentary evidence. Okay. But if I say that I have been using the mark since 2022, then I need to provide documents that support that I have been using this mark since 1 year. Okay.
Okay.
That's the difference between user claim and the proposed user.
Okay,
So,
got it.
yeah. So these are the so you need to remember, this is very important, that please remember that your documentary evidences should show the date of the use of the product. Okay, because if they don't show the date and you just provide such documents that show the presence of the product in the market but doesn't show since how long the product is being sold in the market, then it's of no use. But if you are a proposed user, you need not give any evidence. But if you are claiming user since long back, please give the proper documents. And yeah. Okay. So now proceeding further. So if you are an attorney, okay. So for that, what do you need to do is you need to um, file in the registry to get attorney code. Okay. So you cannot file an application, a trademark application, unless you have attorney code from your uh, jurisdiction of your like registry which falls under your jurisdiction. Suppose I am from Uttar Pradesh or Delhi maybe, and I need to file a application. Someone has approached me that I want to register this particular trade name and I want you to register my trade name. So just being an advocate doesn't help. I need to get an attorney code, which I'll get from the Delhi registry. Okay. So there is a separate form for it. If you want, I'll tell you later. I'll find it out and send it to you. But you just need to know that for filing a application, you need to have a attorney code. Apart from that, the applicant himself could file the application if he has digital signature. Okay, digital signature is a must, even if you are an attorney or you are filing an individual application. Now, this is the practical process that I'm telling you. It's not written anywhere. So once you obtain a digital signature and you're filing you can suggest your client to file himself. Okay. So there is application TMA. So because you weren't present in the last class, I'll just show you TMA once.
Ma'am, can you forward this in the group so we can read?
I've
Yeah.
already forwarded form TMA in the group before, like some days back. I'll just check and forward again. 1 second. Yeah, I forwarded it on July 29. I'm sending it again. Yeah, done. So you can open TMA and I'll also share it. Yeah, so can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
so there are two kinds of fees that you need to remember. One is if you're filing as an individual or small enterprise, MSME or startup, you need to pay 4,500, which is like if you're filing offline, it's 5,000, and if you are filing online, then there is a discount of 10%, which comes to 4,500. Okay, but if you are filing as others, anything like body corporate or under the categories others, and the the applicant type is maybe say a big company or a LLP or a partnership firm, then the fees is 10,000 for offline and 9,000, that is 10% discount for online. Okay, so just remember that. And yeah, so the nature of application, it's usually standard trademark. The collective mark, certification mark and series mark is not in general practice used, but just for your information. So a collective mark is one, for example, what example did I give you last time? Bar Council of India. Yeah. So, collection of members. So it's a so if you want to register the name Bar Council of India, it will be a collective mark. Then certification mark example is ISI mark or AG mark or BIS mark. That is used for certifying some product, the quality or assurance of some product. That is certification mark. Series mark is the one which the company has a series of products that they for example, McDonald's. So I gave you example of McDonald's, McFlurry, McChicken, McBurger. Then there is McDonut. So what happens is this is an example of series mark, that one company has different types of product and they're using one parent mark with some addition to other marks. So that is an example of series mark. So nature of your application will be standard trademark. Then
Ma'am, can you explain again the standard mark, collective and certification mark?
yeah, so I gave you the example of standard trademark is used for applications other than collective certification or series mark. Okay, so if a client normally approaches to you, that will be a standard trademark, and you will write the nature of application as standard trademark. Now, collective mark example is Bar Council of India. That is a collection of people or collection of something, and it shows, it represents that there is a collection of something. So that is a collective mark. So if you want to register the name Bar Council of India, it shows that it will be registered as collective mark. Then the example of certification mark will be ISI mark, AG mark. तो आपको जो क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस के लिए आप मार्क देखते हो ना, हॉल मार्क देखते हो ज्वेलरीज पे, एंड देन देयर इज सम फूड सर्टिफाइंग मार्क और सम say hotel certifying mark, or there is NAB certification for hospitals. So these are certification marks. Okay, so certification mark certifies that the quality of something. So वो marks भी registered होते हैं. So you need to state nature of application as certification mark in those cases. Now series mark is McDonald's is an example of series mark. So Mac is the main parent mark, and now there are a lot of products sold by McDonald's which come under series mark, like McFlurry, McChicken, McBurger, Mac Aloo Tikki, then Mac say donut. So these are series mark. Okay. So anything other than collective certification or series mark will be standard trademark. Now, whether the application filed as individual, startup, small enterprise, or others. So I told you the fee for the different categories is different. So for individual, startup, small enterprise, it will be 4,500, and for others, it will be 9,000 in online application. And you need to be very sure of this second point, because once you have entered something, you will not be able to change it afterwards. Through like to change other things, there is like TMM form, a miscellaneous form, where you can file and pay 900 rupees and change or modify the application. But once you have filled this particular row, you cannot change it, you cannot alter this. Okay, so you need to be very sure about it. If there is a single proprietorship, single sole proprietorship firm, you need to file it as individual. If there is a startup, state as startup. If there is MSME, SME, or you are filing as partnership, but you are showing your company as a part of SME, so you need to state as small enterprise there in the blank space. Okay, so I already told you about the fee. Now the applicant name, trading as address. So these are the applicant details. Address for service will be the address of the attorney, if there is an attorney, and if there is no attorney, if the applicant is filing himself, then the address of service will be the applicant's address. Okay, so address of service means where the notices will be served. The notices by trademark registry, if there is an opposition matter, opposition letter, or if there is a objection by trademark registry, they'll send you a notice to for you to file a reply on that notice. Okay, so for that very purpose, the address for service is stated. And these are the other details. So nature of applicant, like it corresponds to the point number 2. So if there is an individual, here it is given individual, but it is written in practicality, it is written single, it will be written as single firm, then partnership firm, body incorporate, including private limited or limited company. Then there is LLP, society, trust, government department, association of person, HUF. So you need to ask your client and identify the nature of applicant and fill it accordingly. Then applicant's agent, that is the attorney's details. If there is no attorney, you can leave this blank. Now the trademark is mentioned here, and the category of trademark is whether the trademark is word mark, device mark, color mark, 3-dimensional trademark, or a sound mark. Okay, so you need to fill that accordingly. Yeah. So if you read this very sentences, you will come to know the differences between all the 4. Okay, 5 actually. So the description of the mark. The description is, if there is a word mark, there will not be any such description. Okay, so it will be simply written. Like for example, I want to register mark Riddhi, so I'll just write Riddhi. There is no font, no artistic element in it, no aesthetic element to it. So the description of the mark will be blank. But if there is a device mark, let's suppose, or a logo, or a or something which is pleasing to the eye, or it is noticeable by the eye, so that description should be provided in this blank. Okay, so I'll show you. So let's just suppose Cadbury. I gave you the example of Cadbury that day. So Cadbury is written in such font in blue color. Okay, so wherever you see Cadbury written, you'll able to identify it very easily. So that description could be mentioned here, that Cadbury is written in this particular font in blue color. Yeah, this calligraphic form, and it's written in blue color. So that is how you describe the mark. Okay. Then, yeah. So trademark registry all over India supposes only 2 languages, that is Hindi and English. If the mark is given in any other language other than Hindi or English, then the transliteration or translation of the mark should be provided either in Hindi or in English. Okay. So that is necessary, because suppose I'm from UP, I'm from a Hindi speaking state, and I don't know how to understand Malayalam, or how to understand Tamil, or how to understand Bengali. So if the mark is in that particular vernacular language, and in the application comes in front of me, I won't be able to understand. Therefore, the transliteration and translation becomes important here. So give me a second, please. Leave it. Yeah. So next is conditions or limitations to use the trademark. So let's suppose there are a lot of people who mention that I want to register this particular mark in the color blue, or in the color black, or in the color suppose red. So that is a kind of condition that they impose. Now, the condition and limitation. One second. Hello. Yeah, sorry. Um, yeah, so where was I? Conditions or limitation. Then class of goods or services, I already told you that you have to identify the class at the very first step and write down here. The description of goods and services is you need to mention all the products that your client is dealing in. If you mention a very vague description of good or service, then the trademark registry will refuse it. They will put an objection that you need to describe the goods or services as per niche classification. So you need to refer to the website. You need to search the website properly and mention the goods and services which your client is dealing in. Okay, one more point that if somebody wants to like just suppose that Meta, so it falls under class 9 and 42 both. So now if your client wants to register under both the classes, they need to file either separate applications for both the classes, or they can file a single application mentioning both the classes, but they need to pay separate fee. So for 9 and 42, the fee will be 4,500 plus 4,500, say 9,000. So they need to pay 9,000. It won't work if they pay 4,500 and file the application for 2 classes or more than 2 classes. Okay, so you need to pay separate fee for every class. So that's one thing you need to remember. Then there is
Is it for each class, the amount will differ, or it's going to be the
No.
standard fee?
Yeah, that there is a standard payment, 4,500. So the fee depends upon the category of applicant. So as I told you that if it is individual startup or a small enterprise, the fee will be 4,500. But if the category is others, then the fee will be 9,000. Now, no matter how many classes you file, you need to pay 45. If you are filing as an individual, let's suppose, and you want to file under 5 classes, you need to pay 4,500 each for each class. Okay, 4,500 into 5.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So the fee does not vary from class to class, but it varies from the type of
category.
applicant. Yeah, category of
Okay.
applicant. Okay. So yeah, statement as to use of mark. So as I told you, there are 2 kinds of the statement as to use of mark, that is proposed to be used or user claim since some particular year, particular date. Okay. So for the first category proposed to be used, it means that you have filed the application and now you are willing to you want to say you want to use this trade name from now on. Okay, so that so in that case you need to take upon proposed to be used. And if you are claiming your user date since, let's say, 2022 December 2, okay, so in that case you need to produce documents and you need to click on the second mark is used by the applicant or its predecessor in the title since the date, mention the date in respect of all the goods or services mentioned in the application. Okay. So there are also some application I got where the proprietor is same, the mark is same, the class is different, but one application is for proposed user and one application is claiming user since, let's say, 1996. So that could also happen. So if the that's not your concern because you don't have to examine. But yes, if a client comes to you that they want to register one, let's say they were dealing in chocolates since 1996. Now they want to register their name as say Choco Pie from 1996, but they are evolving or they are expanding their business into say marshmallows. Now they are expanding from 2023. So they will file another application for selling marshmallows as proposed user, but they'll claim the user date of chocolates or on Chocopie since 1996. So that will be separate applications. Okay. Okay. So priority claim, I already told you before in previous classes that priority claim comes when, let's say, some businessman from China wants to expand his business in India. Now, what he'll do is he has already got the trademark registration in China in, let's say, year 2001, and he's applying for trademark registration in India in 2023. Now, he'll claim priority since 2001 that he has got in China. So that is the priority application number, priority application date. Okay. Any other important information or statement that you want to mention? Verification and the signature name authority. So this is TMA. Form TMA, where you need to file for filing to get a registration on the trade name. Okay, so yeah. So is it visible, that authorization of agent form?
Yes.
Okay, so if you are filing the application of your client as an attorney with TMA, you need to also attach an authorization letter. So you need to file, you need to pay challan, or let's say, the stamp duty. So you need to file a stamped paper and notarize it, and also you need to mention this. Sorry. Yeah. So okay. So you need to mention that. So you see here there is attorney code given. Okay. So that's an attorney code that we get from the registry, and this authorization of agent letter says that the proprietor is authorizing such and such attorney to file the application, trademark application, and also to give me a second, please. There's a call. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so the proprietor has to authorize the agent or the attorney, and they need to mention that for this registration, opposition or objections or any kind of assignment rectification, that this particular attorney's address will be the service address, and they hereby authorize to to follow all the communications on behalf of the proprietor. So this is important. Okay, this is the
Where do we get this attorney code number? in
every
specific?
yeah, attorney code number you'll get from the registry. You need to file a form to get the attorney code number. So where do you belong to? Which state? Priya?
Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu.
Okay, so I guess your jurisdiction will be Mumbai.
I think so.
Yeah, so if your jurisdiction is Mumbai, let's suppose, then you need to either you can file online to get attorney code, or you can visit the registry for faster like the speedy you'll get some
Okay.
priority or some favorable and if you go to the registry and file the form. So to get
But can
speedy
we do
results, you
this
can,
online as well?
yeah, you can.
To
It
file?
will take 2-3 months, I guess, and
Okay.
you need to be registered to in Bar Council of India, and also you need to file the form, and you'll get their attorney code number. After that, you can file the form
Okay.
on behalf
Okay.
of your
But
client.
which website, which web, is that any specific website where we can
Yeah,
file
you'll
this
get
form?
all the
Get the attorney
forms
code.
on IP India website.
IP India.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the e-stamp. You can also file an offline stamp that I told you you'll get from the court, and also the practicing advocates know better that how to get a stamp. So you need to file e-stamp or the normal regular stamp, and you need to file this authorization letter. Then these are the kinds of evidences. See, this company, Akia Aesthetics, so they have filed these photographs as evidences. So you can see the date is mentioned here, 17/20/2020. So the date is important. This is a screenshot of their website, I guess. So this is the invoice. So in the invoice also you can see 21/1/2020. The date is mentioned. So the date is important. Also, that company's name should be mentioned in the invoice. That is also an important part. So this is again an invoice. So these are this I'm showing you to like you should know that what kind of evidences you can file. This is a screenshot of the Instagram page, website again, and make sure this is the trademark Akia Aesthetics with some leaf-like image. This is the device mark. Okay. The next important document is the user affidavit. So if you are a proposed user, okay, then you need not file any user affidavit. But if you are if you're claiming user date since long back, then you need to file an affidavit stating that such and such company holding such and such trade name, dealing in such and such trade name under class this, is being using the is the user of this particular trade name since, let's suppose, June 29, 2019. So you need to mention that specifically in the affidavit. So the authorization letter format, the affidavit format, the opposition letter formats, all these formats differ. There is no set pattern. Okay, so you need to mention the important details in the notices, in the petitions, in the affidavit, but that there is no like mandatory format that need to be followed. Okay, so the advocates, they as the advocates differ, so the formats differ. So I can provide you the sample of this, but while practicing you can also change it or modify it as per your convenience.
But this affidavit that you're showing, that will come into practice if the user want to file on himself, right? Without the help of an advocate. The applicant want to
not
file it on his
necessary.
own.
It's
Okay.
not necessary. If the user affidavit depends upon if you are a proposed user or you are a claiming user since some particular date. Okay. So if you are a proposed user, there is no need to file affidavit. But if you are you are claiming the user date since some particular year or some particular date which is before filing of that application, then you need to file user affidavit. Okay.
Okay.
So it doesn't depend upon if you are filing as an individual or filing through an attorney. Even if an attorney is filing, they need to get a user affidavit from the proprietor and file it.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this is the sample which I'll share in the group. You can go through it. And it's already 9:15. So I'll end the class and we'll discuss this I'll show you. 1 second. These all are evidences. So once the application has been examined and there is some objection on the part of registry. Okay, the registry has put up an objection on your application. Then there is a notice which is served to your attorney. Now, what the attorney will do, they'll file a response to the examination report. So the objections will come as a examination report. Okay, I'll show you the this. 1 second. Yeah, can you see this? Is it visible to you? Examination report.
Yes.
This is the sample of examination report which is sent by registry to the attorney. Okay, so in this case, the objections are raised on the ground of section 11, and also they haven't filed a duly executed user affidavit. Okay, so these two grounds are mentioned whereby the objection has been raised and the trademark registry now calls upon the attorney. They serve this notice. This is a sample of original notice. Okay, so they serve this notice to the attorney and the attorney is required to file a reply on this examination report. Okay, so this is this is the sample of reply to examination report which is filed by the attorney. Now we'll discuss this in the next class. What are the important points that you need to mention and you need to highlight in the examination report. And I'll stop sharing now. I'll share this document in the group so that you can go through it once, and whatever we have discussed now and whatever the homework that I gave you in the previous class, please do it so that I'll be satisfied that I have taught you something which like if you join a say law firm, some trademark law firm, or somewhere you go and practice as a freelancer, so you'll know the basics of the filing of the trademark application. Okay, so this is the very basic that I'm telling you, the process, and I can also deal with the sections if you want. I can also deal with the all the important sections of the Trademark Act. So I want you to tell me, do you want me to explain the sections? Do you want me to deal with the sections? Because this module will be over soon. In the next class, I will deal with the examination report reply. Then I'll deal with the opposition and counter statement. And after that, we'll end the trademark class. But if you want that I should also explain the sections, I can do that. Because this practical knowledge is taking a lot of time.
Yeah, the
Ma'am,
sections.
can you explain
important
what is the
sections.
trademark enforcement?
Infringement,
Trademark enforcement.
enforcement.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, enforcement in what sense? Like if there is an order on a trademark or action to be taken on trademark, like there is an infringement and there is an order by the court, then it comes under trademark enforcement. So do you want me to deal that?
Ma'am, I am asking about ma'am, I have seen that so many people are writing on their LinkedIn that we are doing a trademark enforcement or trademark opposition team. So I want to know the difference. What is the trademark opposition team? What are they doing? And what is the trademark enforcement team? What are they doing? Means if I will go to a trademark law firm, IP law firm to do any internship or any
Mhm.
as a associate. So what I will do as a trademark enforcement team or trademark opposition team.
I have an idea about it, but to be sure, I'll just go through once what you're saying, then we'll discuss that in the next class. So
Okay, ma'am.
opposition team basically deals with the drafting and uh, argumentation part of the opposition. So if there is an opposition by the third party, okay, so there is a mark of mine and it has been advertised by the trademark registry. Now the some third party, suppose you have objected on my mark. Now what my team will do, they'll file a you have now you will send a opposition letter to me, opposition petition to me, and my team will send you a counter statement and evidences. Now there will be a tussle between me and you that will be dealt by my opposition team. So that is the work of opposition team. And enforcement team, I think they deal in the trademark prosecution part. But I'll go through it once and then let you know. This was the basic that I know of. And what else? What else do you want me to cover in this module?
About the
Ma'am, will you get the
infringement as well.
Sorry, one person at a time. Priya?
Yeah, about the infringement as well, if you can cover, would be fine. And also the important sections that is being used.
Okay, all right. I'll do that. Yeah, Vasudev, you were saying something?
Yes, ma'am. I was asking that will you get any drafting, how to draft trademark opposition or trademark exemption
Yes,
report, how
yes.
to reply trademark cease and
Yeah.
desist letter.
Okay, I'll give you a sample of it and we'll also discuss that in the class.
Ma'am,
What else?
also, ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, in public source there is also what another such thing. It is just
Public search thing, there is another thing. The voice cracked. So,
ma'am VNA classification. Ma'am, how to search
okay.
under VNA
Yeah, yeah.
classification?
Okay, I'll read that.
Many time I fail to found what is the code, what is the exact code.
Okay, I understood. We'll deal that. What else? I'll write it down once. Wait. Vienna code. Then there is infringement and other sections. And opposition, counter statement. What else? What else do you want me to explain?
Ma'am, trademark enforcement and trademark opposition
Enforcement,
team, what
yeah.
does they do?
Trademark enforcement. And opposition team. Anything else?
Ma'am, one another question, ma'am. What is commercial IP? Is there related to commercial law? Means business, commercial business law.
Okay, I'll look into it. Anything else? If there is anything else you want to ask me, please let me know in this class because we'll be summing up very soon this module because we have to switch to copyright too. Okay, for now, I'll just wind up this class and